Started. Good afternoon, everyone who has just joined us. Thank you for joining us for the Transportation Innovation webinar series. This is the first in a three-part webinar series focused on important topics of sustainable transportation. This webinar series is a collaboration between the town of East Hampton, Transit Solutions, and the U.S. Green Building Council, Long Island Sustainable Transportation Committee. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. This webinar is being recorded and the video will be posted on the Town of East Hampton's webpage, as well as energizeeh.org. This webinar will also air on LTV at a later date. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type them into the chat box and we'll answer them after the presentations before we get to the bingo game. And we also ask, just as a reminder, for all attendees to please remain muted at all times unless called upon to speak. All right, next slide. So my name is Lauren Steinberg. I'm a senior environmental analyst for the town's Department of Natural Resources. The town of East Hampton has a long history of promoting energy sustainability. East Hampton is both a state designated climate smart and clean energy community, and was the first municipality in New York to adopt a goal to meet the equivalent of 100% annual community-wide energy consumption, such as electricity, heating, and transportation with renewable energy sources by 2030. Since the adoption of that goal in 2014, the town has made progress in its efforts towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions that impact global warming and climate change. As a coastal community, East Hampton is susceptible to the impacts of climate change. The transportation sector accounts for over a third of greenhouse gas emissions in New York State and is the state's largest source of emissions. This webinar series will focus on options to travel in sustainable ways that reduces dependency on fossil fuels and emissions from vehicles. Now I'd like to introduce Mindy Tremaine, Program Manager for Transit Solutions, who will introduce our speakers and get our presentation started. Mindy?
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and I've been working with the town of East Hampton in putting this series together for you all, and we hope you learn a few things as well as have a good time. I am the Program Manager of Transit Solutions. We work across the island with municipalities, universities, corporations, helping people identify sustainable ways to travel around, and also educating local government and business about pre-tax transit benefits so that we can make public transit more affordable. In putting together today's series, I collaborated with two other groups that are here today. One of them is, as was just stated, USGBC Long Island Sustainable Transportation Committee that has a similar mission of educating the impact of transportation on the environment, as well as 511 New York Rideshare, who also has a mission of improving air quality and reducing traffic congestion. So the reason that this is so important is a year ago when we were communicating with Long Island, we were talking about all this great news that happened during the pandemic. People were talking about hearing the birds chirping and the air being cleaner. And that was like the one silver lining of this pandemic. But unfortunately, what I wanted to show people is this dip was last March. And since then, the cars have returned to the road, and you can see that the carbon emissions have increased. So we have our job to do, and hopefully today we will inspire you. As was just mentioned, we hope you'll continue this journey. The next session in this series is May 18th. It's actually a Tuesday night, and it is being run by Drive Electric Long Island, and the town of East Hampton's Energy Sustainability Committee will also be participating in this workshop. So this is called Electric Vehicles 101. And if you have any interest or you're thinking about buying or leasing an electric car, it's a great opportunity to hear from experts about how to purchase, what the features are, and what the experience is like. If you have any concerns or fears, you can get them aired. It's a really informative session. I've been to it a couple of times and I highly recommend it. And following today, you can register for it I'm putting my mouse around it at the energizeeasthampton.org website, which is a wonderful source overall for sustainable initiatives. The final session of this series will be focused on active transportation, particularly walking and biking. And I'm working with the town and USGBC Long Island to put this together. And I've learned so much. I mean, you all have over 200 miles of trails just in the town of East Hampton. And we are going to take you on a tour of some of those gems. We're also going to plant a seed for shopping, dining, and strolling routes. The idea that you can have these wonderful summer days or evenings without even using your car. Then we'll talk about bike rides to the beach that are safe. And we'll end that seminar by giving you a glimpse into the future with plans that are up ahead. So before we get started on this short presentation, I just wanted to mention that in the chat, there is a link. If you did not yet access your virtual bingo card, we're going to be starting the game in about 15 minutes. And so you can open that up on your phone so that you could see the screen here. And I just wanted to make sure everyone has a chance to do that before we get to that portion of the presentation. So what we're going to do now is when we do play, instead of using numbers, we are going to make this more educational, and we're going to point out tips and ideas and facts and information about how you can be more sustainable, and those are going to function as your bingo numbers. So that's an example of what your card will look like when we start to play. And so we're going to walk through those terms now. Okay. So the first term is Car-Free Day Long Island. I'm not sure if everybody knows what that is. It's an event that happens every year in September across the world, like over 50 countries on one day. I'm just going to ask everyone when you join, if you could please mute yourself. I'd appreciate that. And then when we play bingo, we'll give instructions about how to unmute yourself at that time. So Car-Free Day Long Island is one day where we encourage people to pledge to go car-free or car light, which just means using your car a little bit less. It's an event that the town of East Hampton has been participating in for many years. And I have to say it gets a little competitive with communities across the island, and the town of East Hampton always does very well. This is a picture of the town board, I think in their first year of participating. In any event, I'm just gonna, for some reason, my computer's a little sticky today. The campaign started with, you'll see as you're driving around Long Island on bus shelters and benches, we have a new campaign out, Don't Drive Yourself Crazy. There's other headlines as well, but the idea is, you know, the road to a greener Long Island starts with each of us. So what can we do to pledge to go a little, to use our cars a little bit less? This is another example of what you might see. Everyone loves that no car smell. And ultimately, what we're asking people do is to explore a little more biking, a little more walking, carpooling when it's safe, transit, and even telecommuting. So if you go onto the website, and I'm going to just run my mouse over it, carfreedaylongisland.com, you can make a simple pledge that you're going to try and do one thing different on Car-Free Day, and we hope every day. And you'll be entered into a chance to win these great prizes that tie in with mobility. And we're trying to get creative. We have everything from trail rides on horse to annual memberships to the bike share program that has come to Suffolk County. So you get the whole year. We have discounts and gift cards to local cycling shops. We have really cool new cutting edge equipment like these helmets and all that are stay at light at night. And then we have great transit opportunities as well. So that being said, over the course of this next piece of the presentation, there's going to be several of us that are going to pop in and pop out. And we're going to start with the Long Island Railroad to talk about your local train.
Hi, I'm Luigi Rettora from Long Island Railroad. I work with Ron, who's also on here today. The Long Island Railroad, easy way to get around. It helps to go into the city, or if you want to go further out into the island, If you're in the city and you want to go out to East Hampton, we have a station at East Hampton, Amagansett, and then Montauk. We have different packages to get you out there. There are also different pricing depending on the times that you may go.
In terms of your local bus, you have this Suffolk County Transit bus that services you. And I put down the different buses that service East Hampton, but I also wanted to make sure that you're aware that there's this app called Suffolk Fast Fare, where you can have a cashless purchasing experience, which has become very popular during COVID. And then this, I love, another app, it's called Translock Rider. So you can actually track your bus. So those days of when is my bus going to show up, those days are gone, and technology has really become our friend. Next, the Hampton Jitney. You're lucky that you have some really cool forms of transportation in the Hamptons. So if you're going into the city or vice versa, the Hampton Jitney is a wonderful, comfortable experience. And I put the website on here as well as the stops in your area. And now we have Circuit. Alex, okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, my video is taking a second to load. But thank you for having us. I'm Alex Esposito. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Circuit. And we actually started in East Hampton as a beach shuttle, initially designed to help reduce congestion around the parking lots at Main Beach so people could park in East Hampton town and get a ride to the beach. And the initial model was fully ad supported, and that was about 10 years ago. Since then, we've expanded to about a dozen other cities. We rebranded the company from the Free Ride to Circuit, and we're very focused on last mile connections. So getting people to the train or getting people to the Hampton Jitney are perfect use cases. About a third of all vehicle trips in the US are 2 miles or less. So about 125 billion trips a year. And those are the types of trips that we're looking to cut out. So you can use our service during the summer months in Southampton, in Montauk, and in East Hampton. And that's whether you're getting to the beach or you're going around town. We use all electric vehicles and have an app, so it's on demand. We do pool our riders to reduce the number of vehicles on the road. And so if you download the app, Ride Circuit, the rides are free, and we hope you enjoy the service. Oh, and here's a look at the coverage areas. So again, we're not a competitor to Lyft or Uber or some of these other forms. We're focused mainly on the downtown areas, the villages in East Hampton, Southampton, and Montauk. And so sort of that last mile connector piece to help get you to the train or to that distant parking lot, or of course to the beach, which is how we started.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. The Moynihan Train Hall. Hi, I'm Ron Mendel. I'm with the Long Island Railroad. The Moynihan Train Hall is our new train hall that's located across the street from Madison Square Garden on 8th Avenue between 31st and 33rd. It is located in the James A. Farley Post Office building. And as you can see from some of these slides, you have the beautiful atrium. It's a very large open hall that's going to be used mostly by Amtrak. But we do have some access to our tracks from the main train hall itself. But you could also access the rest of our tracks like 17 through 21 by just going through a corridor called the West End Concourse. Like I said, it's a great alternative to Penn Station at the moment because Penn Station's going through some renovations. So if you want to exit at Penn Station and not go through all of the construction that's going on, just go up towards the West End corridor and take the entrance into the train hall, and you could exit from there. Our Train Time app. Our Train Time app gives you real-time information that you need. Location of your train, approximate arrival time at your station, the capacity of the train cars. You could tell which train cars are full, which ones are empty, so you can position yourself on the platform. You could also plan your itinerary through Train app. So from point A to point B. So if you wanted to go from Long Island and go into Penn Station and connect with an Amtrak train, or get over to New Jersey Transit, it'll give you all of that information. That's it.
Safe travels on the Long Island Railroad. The railroad, all of the MTA, subways, railroads, the train cars are all cleaned twice a day, disinfected, and each station is actually cleaned twice a day. We also adhere to wearing masks at the time for now. Sorry, you can go on.
So the town of East Hampton is leading by example in reducing greenhouse gas emissions from transportation. The town has installed a network of publicly available EV charging stations to promote the use of electric vehicles. There currently are level 2 charging stations at the East Hampton Town Hall and Amagansett Village parking lots. And through a partnership with Tesla and Electrify America, 8 Tesla superchargers and 4 universal EV fast chargers have been installed in the municipal parking lot on South Euclid Avenue in Montauk. The town has also added electric vehicles to its municipal fleet, and recently the town board adopted a fleet efficiency policy for the purchase of green fleet vehicles. Next slide. So reducing emissions from transportation also includes finding alternatives to using vehicles for getting around, or at least using vehicles less. Shopping local is one way to do that. East Hampton has many local shopping and dining opportunities throughout the town and in the villages. Taking advantage of resources that are local not only reduces the need for using vehicles to get around and the number of vehicles on the road, but helps to support and revive local economies, which is important at all times, but especially in the wake of COVID. We will be focusing more on this in the 3rd webinar series, like Mindy mentioned, scheduled for June 16th. But there are many opportunities to find activities like shopping and dining without the need to get in your car and drive from place to place. East Hampton Village, Sag Harbor Village, Amagansett, and Montauk are a few places that you can visit where you can park the car and walk around, or even leave the car at home and walk or bike to and around these locations. East Hampton has many opportunities to walk, hike, and bike as a means to get someplace that you want to go, or just to get outside and safely enjoy the beautiful environment that we have here. There are over 200 miles of trails throughout the town. East Hampton Trails Preservation Society and the Town Department of Land Management are very active in caring for the many trail systems available to the public here, which we'll also get into more at the June webinar as well. But for those who want to start to explore that now, the town has excellent maps on the town of all the town's trail systems from Wainscott to Montauk available on the town's website, and hard copies can be obtained from the town's clerk's office as well. These maps include information such as parking locations for trail access, if the trails include features like scenic views or historic sites, as well as other information that may be helpful for people to plan their use of the trails here. And just to give you an idea of how expansive the East Hampton trail system is, this slide and the following slide show the maps for the trails, showing that you really could walk, hike, or bike across East Hampton using these trails if you wanted to. Again, these maps are available on the town's website, and we'll go into much more detail on this in the June 6th webinar.
Another way to get around the town of East Hampton is by bike. Biking is very popular in your community. And one thing that's really nice is that many of the local bike shops, and we include them here, actually offer bike rentals. So if you, like many people, are interested in biking and you can't even get a bike because there's no bikes to be had anymore, there's such a back order, you can rent a bike and you can explore the town of East Hampton. So we just wanted to make sure you know about that, and we want to plug our local merchants that are making those opportunities available to you.
Long Island Care Program.
Sorry.
If you have the need to, if anyone has a need that they need some sort of assistance from start to finish, you can call the 718 Long Island or LIRR care number, and the crews of the train will be notified. Also, there'll be people at certain stations to help you out, mostly at the West End stations like Jamaica, Brooklyn, and Penn Station.
Long Island Railroad group travel. That's what we know all about because Luigi and I do work in group travel. Group travel, you can save up to 60% on group travel with groups of 30 or more. However, you don't have to have 30 in order to save money by using the group travel ticket. You could travel in basically for $9.75, I think it was, from Ronkonkoma. Was that right? Per person for a group of 30, and that's round trip. So there's a great savings to be had with group travel. It's not just for school groups, it's for your sports groups, it's for your travel groups, your buddies you want to get together, you want to go into the city and have a good time. A lot of families do this on Saturdays. They'll get together and get a group ticket and go in to the city, maybe go see some shows when they get back in, right?
Or go from the city out to East Hampton, and the price is about $13 for that zone.
From East Hampton, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you could use it both ways. Luigi, you want to take this one?
Yeah, the museums, we have packages going into the city, like to the Madame Tussauds, MoMA, and there's a whole bunch of other things that are in there. And again, it combines rail ticket and entrance to the museums, and it's discounted. It's approximately 30%. Going out to, like Ron said before, now if you want to go in reverse and you're in the city and you want to go out to the island, we have tours going out to wine country. We have tours going out to Montauk, to the lighthouse, and these are usually fun. They're long days, but they're fun and they're very economical.
And they're escorted by us.
Oh, I'm so
Did you
sorry.
miss that one?
That's okay. Bulk tickets.
There we go.
Bulk tickets is something that we've done in the past, but we're really trying to expose people to this program that we have. Bulk tickets is basically for businesses, whether it's a hospital or a library or schools, colleges, that may need to buy more than you can get at either the machines or at ticket offices. They're only, a ticket office and the machines are only allowed to print up so many tickets and at a certain value. If you get through us at 718-558-7419, almost forgot the number, sorry, or the website, will help you out with getting the bulk amount of tickets. It saves you guys time. We'll even deliver them.
So I already mentioned that Transit Solutions helps companies on Long Island navigate pre-tax transit benefits. And the reason that that's so important is because it's expensive to commute, and employees can set aside up to $270 of monthly pre-tax money and use it for their commute, saving up to 40%. So as things go back to normal, those are the conversations that we help companies navigate. And the reason we're all here as we're coming to the end of this presentation and moving into our bingo game is that traffic costs Long Island $1.9 billion and 93 million hours of delays. So we're hoping that not only are we going to clean up the environment, but we can create a better, stronger, more resilient Long Island if by showing you all these different ways of getting around, think about it, like what can I do differently? What seems interesting to me? What could work with my life? That's the idea of why we're here today. And I invited our partners at 511 New York Rideshare to close out this presentation to tell you a little bit more about their Earth Month program.
Thanks, Mindy. Yes, so 511 New York Rideshare, we support the car-free mission by advocating and promoting for alternative transportation use. We partner with New York State employers, universities, municipalities, et cetera, to try and get some smart mobility options up and running, as well as advocate for that alternative transportation use. But this year we are broadening our umbrella And we did our first Earth Month campaign throughout the month of April this year, where we're asking folks from across the state to pledge in Earth Month by doing something eco-friendly or forward. So it doesn't have to be transportation related. Of course, of all the options we just went over, that can be one of your pledges, is to explore those options a bit more and try to use them. But it can also be anything along the lines of, you know, community gardening or starting a compost, etc. So we're really trying to get a collaborative, you know, response and effort on this from across the state, and we'd love for all Long Islanders to get involved as well.
Thank you so much, Lainey. I am now going to be transferring over to another platform. I don't see any questions about the presentation as much as I see a question about, let's see, telecommuting. And that is really, you know, what we're all kind of doing right now is a lot of us are working virtually from platforms like Zoom that we're on right now, scheduling meetings that way. And even though it's not ideal, it does have the one benefit of reducing emissions. It is, you know, a cleaner, greener way to work. There are, it seems like, a couple of people who have accessed this game who do not live on Long Island. Unfortunately, the prizes are only for Long Island. So if you want to stay and play bingo because you enjoy bingo, that's fine. However, the prizes are for residents of Long Island. So I do have to stress that. And I don't, okay, I'm just looking if I missed any other questions. Okay, so there's a link at the top of the chat. If anyone did not get their virtual bingo card uploaded yet, you can find that there. And now at this point, you're just give me a second and I'm going to stop share and move to a different platform.
Sorry, Mindy, I didn't see the link.
Hold on one second. It's in the chat at the very beginning of the chat. It's the first item in the chat. I'm going to give everyone a minute to just get their card. Oh, and Lauren just reposted it. Thank you so much, Lauren. Okay, so I'm going to start the game now. And the way that it's going to work is we're going to play two games. The first game is going to be one line across, down, or diagonal. And you do have a free space, so you can mark that off right away. Each time I call a term, it will show up over here. So the first term right here is USGBC Long Island. How great that they're our first term, because they're an incredible force on Long Island for sustainable transportation. And then as I call additional terms, they will show up on the screen, but the other ones will be there too. So you can always look back if you forget. When you do, if you do get bingo, please unmute yourself and say bingo. And then I have the ability to pull up your card so that everybody can see, so that we know that it's fair. If for any reason we have a tie, and it can happen, I also have the technology to call a winner through the program so that I have nothing to do with it. The winner I will be in touch with after the presentation directly, and I will coordinate a local restaurant in your downtown that you would like to enjoy a meal at. And it's our way of helping promote the shopping, strolling, dining experience that Lauren talked about earlier. So that being said, we're going for one line across, down, or diagonal, and the first term is USGBC Long Island. The next term is LIRR Getaways.
If you remember Long Island Railroad Getaways, they're discounted packages and escorted tours.
The next term is 511 New York Rideshare, and that is Lainey's group, and she's the one who just told you about that wonderful Earth Month program that they are doing. So that's 511 New York Rideshare, and once again, you can see the other terms if you should need to go back. Reducing traffic is something that I mentioned at the end of the presentation. And we also talked about it at the beginning of the presentation, because when you live on Long Island, it's all we talk about. And hopefully we're giving you some strategies to reduce traffic.
No more pollution.
Local train.
Local trains, meaning that your train will be stopping at every station along your route.
GHGs. GHG stands for greenhouse gases, and that is what we're trying to reduce on Long Island by reducing the amount of cars on the road. GHGs. Hike. This is what Lauren talked about earlier, and we invite you to come back for the third series to learn about great hiking opportunities right in your own town. Hike. Clean air is the goal for all of our organizations that are working on to bring you this, including the town of East Hampton. Clean air.
I always hike. It's actually fun.
LIRR Care. That's our our mobility assistance for people who want to take the train into the city. If they call up to 2 hours in advance, they can get somebody to assist them at their leaving station and at the station that they go to by the crew with ramps for wheelchairs or any kind of assistance to get on the train or get off the train.
Okay,
bingo, Mindy.
wait. Yes, I see. Okay, Divya, is that how you pronounce your name? Thank you.
Yes.
Can you tell us what is the ID number on the top of your card?
024.
Okay, let me get to that. Give me a second. 24, you said?
24, yes.
Okay, let's see if you really have it. You do. Okay, congratulations. You are our first winner, but you're not off the hook yet. I'm going to ask you to tell us something that you learned today that you didn't know before that you might want to try.
I always ride my bike, so that's another previous, but I like riding my bike. I am like, it's really good. And walking.
Well, being that you like those two things, I highly recommend you come to our third series. I think you'll get a lot out of it. And I'm going to write your name down. And I have your email address, so I will email you afterwards and we'll coordinate on your prize. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now we're going to start a new game, but this game is going to be a little more challenging because we're going to do a frame, which means we're going all the way around the board. Okay? Everyone can see my mouse. So this might take a little bit longer, but it'll be fun. So I'm going to start another game. And the first term is last mile.
Oh, we're starting a new game? Okay.
Yes. So you should be able to hit a refresh button on top.
How do we get the prize list, I lose? And yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Divya, are you from Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that. I announced that at the beginning of the presentation. The prizes are actually in Long Island.
Okay.
So we're going to have to go back and continue. Did everyone refresh already?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so we're going to have to do that game again. And I'm just going to have to ask if anybody is on this game that is not in Long Island, that I'm sorry, but please don't yell bingo because that will confuse us. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome to play. You just can't call bingo. So we're not going for the frame yet. I just want to be really clear. We're going for a straight line. Okay, and we still have time to finish. So I'm going to do this I'm going to start calling. So last mile is the first term. Pledge. We'd like you to pledge to go car free. Safe. We want to make sure that everyone stays safe while riding the train and on their bikes and everything else. Reducing traffic.
Long Island Loyalty. It's a program for businesses that will give you a discount if you took the railroad or if you have a railroad ticket with you. You can see that on the websites.
Biking, that's also part of our last series. Local bus. We talked about the Suffolk County Transit offering your local bus. Paratransit.
Bingo.
Is that Judy?
Yeah, hi.
Judy, do you live on Long Island?
Yeah, well, part of the year, June through October.
Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you. Can you tell me your ID number?
25.
Okay.
It's across the top. I can, well, because it's the combination of where we just have to clear our board.
Yeah, it's okay. We're just going to keep playing. Just hold on to it.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Pre-tax benefits. LIRR.
Long Island Railroad group travel. That's our group packages. Remember, you can save up to 60% for with 30 or more people, but you don't have to have the 30 in order to save money by using the ticket.
It's another bingo, but it's a combination of less bingo and this bingo. I can show you if you want.
What is your number?
It's still 25, but I can show you if you want. It's the board from the last.
No, okay, you're not there yet. You're almost there.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Hike. Walk. USGBC Long Island again.
Bingo.
Who is that?
It's Alex.
Alex.
I'm
Okay,
card
great.
number 28.
Okay. Let's view your card. Not yet, almost. Oh, am I wrong? No, you got it. You got
No,
it.
he has it. He has
You
it.
got it. Okay, Alex, I will be in touch with you after. Thank you for playing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so now we can start over with the frame. So everyone, please clear your board. Alex Esposito, are you there?
He's on
Yeah, I'm
mute.
here. Sorry,
Can
I
you
was on mute.
just tell me what you're seeing on the upper part of your board to refresh? There's a word, I don't know exactly. I don't think it's refresh.
Reset.
Okay, I just want to make sure everyone gets that. So if you hit the reset on the top of your board, you should get a clean board, okay? Okay, so I'm going to start this game, and now we are starting from scratch. We can only play if we live in Long Island, and we are going for the frame around the board. I think it's amazing that people from around the world are interested in East Hampton. I think it's great. So kudos to East Hamptons, and we're happy to have met new friends. Okay, walk. Reducing traffic, here we are again. Local bus, Suffolk County Transit. Local train, you already heard about your local train. Biking. Just gonna give you a second to make sure you have everything checked. USGBC Long Island, our wonderful partners in sustainable transportation.
Is this the border, or is this just a straight line again?
This is the border. We're doing the frame around the board.
Frame.
Okay.
Group travel. For those of you who are interested in group travel or have questions about the packages or even the escorted tours that we're going to have over the summer, call us at 718-558-7419. And the getaways. Our escorted tours out to Eastern Long Island, Montauk Lighthouse. We go to the wineries. We usually have an apple picking tour later in the summer, towards September-ish, right? And it's a great way to see Eastern Long Island. It's inexpensive compared to everything else. And you don't have to take your car. You come out with us on the train and we'll hop on a bus and we'll escort the trip with you and take you to some great places.
Pledge. I'm going to remind you now to pledge to go car free at www.carfreedaylongisland.com. Clean air, something we're all working towards with all this walking, biking, transit, telecommuting. Transit Solutions is the organization that I represent. Shop and Stroll is something that the town of East Hampton is promoting. Hiking will be part of our third series. I've had a preview of some of these trails and they're absolutely just magnificent. Prizes, if you do pledge to go car light, we have some wonderful prizes. So again, carfreedaylongisland.com. Pre-tax transit benefits, a way to save money while commuting. GHGs, greenhouse gases. Paratransit.
What does paratransit means?
It's just like with the Long Island Railroad, where people may need have different needs. Maybe they're wheelchair bound or any other afflictions that they need a different type of transportation
Oh,
or assistance with their transportation, I should say.
we should have it in Canada.
Okay. You know what? Just everyone put your questions in the chat. It just makes it a lot easier. So we will answer them. My LIRR loyalty. That is a program that right now is on hold. So it will be coming back.
Being reimagined.
Yes, better and stronger.
Right.
Last mile. That is how you get to the station and from the station. We're encouraging people to try and find alternatives to taking their car, whether it's biking, walking, or even something like Alex presented before with Circuit.
And LIRR Care is our program that we have for people with mobility issues, assisting them getting on the train, getting off the train from point A to point B, like in Brooklyn, Jamaica, and Penn Station. And our Train Time app, that's our real-time information train app that will assist you in locating which cars are less full so that you can place yourself on the platform to board the train and enjoy not being squished into a train with too many people.
Safety is something that we talked about as well. And I can speak for transit. There's so many initiatives that have been taken to keep you all safe. Not even just sanitizing, but the technology like the Train Time app allowing you to space yourself safe. 511 New York Rideshare. I know that we do have some abbreviations and I'll try to explain them. This one is self-explanatory, 511 New York Rideshare. Active transportation, walking, biking, and hiking all fall under this category. Future, we're all doing this for a cleaner, greener future. Flexible.
Bingo.
Who is that?
Kim.
Hi, Kim. Do you live on Long Island?
Yes.
Okay, I just have to make sure. Can you tell me your bingo ID number?
13.
Great. Ah, fantastic. That is great. Well, can you share with us anything that stood out to you today?
Well, actually, I'm the Environmental Protection Director, and this program is part of my responsibility. And Lauren is my key person on all sustainability projects. So, really enjoying this webinar and the ones that we've had in the past.
Thank you so much for all you're doing in East Hampton. We're so glad that you joined us today, and it's been a real honor to work with your community on this. So I have your information and I will circle back with you after the game for your prize.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah. So that is it for our transportation bingo series. Lauren, is there anything you'd like to say to everybody before we close out?
I just want to remind everyone that we're going to have this webinar recorded on energizeeh.org. You can also visit energizeeh.org to check out the town's Energize East Hampton initiative. We have a lot of programs that we use to help people with energy efficiency in their home, discounted pricing on solar panels. There's a lot there. And there's also a lot more information on energy sustainability on the Town of East Hampton's website. So I encourage everyone to check that out. Follow us on Facebook, Energize East Hampton, Town of East Hampton. We're always posting lots of good information for the community members out there.
Well, on behalf of Transit Solutions, I want to thank everybody for coming. And it's been a real honor and joy to kind of get into your community to really study what's available. And there's so much. So enjoy your summer. We'll see you at the next session. And thanks for coming.
Thank you, Mindy. Thank you, Lauren.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Mindy.
Sure.
Thank you, Mindy.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great job, Mindy.
Thanks.
Thanks so much, everybody. This was
Hi, Rose.
fantastic.
Hi, Luigi.
Hi, Rosemary.
Hi, Rosemary.
Aww.
Look who it is.
Take care. Good seeing you guys.
Hi.
Hi, thanks,
Bye.
Rosemary.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much, Mindy. This was great. Thank you.
All right.